GalaxyGirl Games here, and I'm going to be doing something a little bit different today for my YouTube video. So, as you can see, I have Photoshop open. Usually, why is my cursor blinking like that? That's not cool. But anyway, so we're going to be doing something a little bit different. So, oh, why did my camcorder? Hold up. Why is it doing that? Okay, we're all fixed now. My cursor's oh, never mind. Okay, so my cursor's still blinking, but that's fine. So, as you can see, I have Photoshop open, but I'm not going to be doing a drawing video today. I'm actually going to be teaching you guys how to use Photoshop, because, well, I've probably forgotten most of this since I haven't taken my web class in 3 months. But I'm going to try to remember most of it and teach you guys about Photoshop. So, since, yeah, most of you only know, like, memes, how to make memes in Photoshop. So, you know what? I'm going to show you all the basic. Today we're going to be focusing on the basic functions, like all these tools over here, how to save, how to open things, and stuff like that. So, first off, we've got this up here. This is the title of your document. That is the color code, like what color scheme you're using. That is RGB, the most common one for computers, considering all the pixels on your computer screen are either red, green, or blue, or a combination of all three. Or two of them. Yeah, fun fact. Your computer screen, all the colors on your computer screen are made of red, green, and blue. Think about that for a minute, and how complex that is. But, yeah, that is what that is. So we're going to, to save something, you go into the File tab up here in the corner. I'm probably going to highlight my cursor when this goes up, so that you guys can see. And we have a few options here. We have New, Open, Browse and Bridge, Open as Smart Document, Open Recent, and Close, Close All, Close and go to Bridge, Save As. We're going to click on Save As. We're going to scroll down, we're going to go to Documents, or wherever you would like to save this, and I'm going to save this as Video Document. And notice, we're going to be saving it as a Photoshop document. That's going to be important later, and I'll go into a whole big session about the different file types next week. We're going to save it, and notice our document title has changed. Now it is now videodocument.psd. PSD is Photoshop document. So anyway, let's get started on all these tools over here. But first, let's open something so I can show you all the capabilities of these tools. So let's open something. I'm going to open my recent, and I'm going to open up this. And this is going to be one of the capabilities of the Move tool. Now the Move tool is interesting. Well, it's nothing really special. You can just move things. But also you can move things between documents. But bam! So now, that's there. But we also have a copy of it over here. We can move it wherever we like in the document because it's a PNG, which I'll explain again next week. So, we've got this little sidebar that I made, this little sidebar image that I made for one of my OC's blogs. It's pretty good. I'm proud of it. And I actually made it in Photoshop, which I'm proud of. Anyway, we're going to close this. And by the way, all the documents you have open will show up here. So, next we move on to the rectangular marquee tool. And this is just to make selections in the shape of a rectangle, so we could delete that if we wanted. Also, quick note, to undo things, you press Control-Z, and Control-Shift-Z on my Windows computer actually redos things. So yeah, we can just make selections, we can move them around without actually moving anything. We can select and mask using this tool, which I'll explain again later. But yeah, that's the functionality of the rectangular marquee tool. And by the way, these are tooltips. They'll pop up if you hover over anything for long enough, any of these tools for long enough. But anyway, moving on to the lasso tool. The lasso tool is essentially the rectangular marquee tool, but you can do whatever shape you want. And you can still move it around. You can still select and mask. You can still do whatever you want with it. But yeah, it's essentially the rectangular marquee, but you can just make it whatever shape you want. And it'll just go absolutely hog wild. But anyway, moving on. Wand tool. The wand tool is interesting, because if you click on something, it'll select it automatically. It's a little bit weird, considering it doesn't usually know what it's doing. But sometimes it does get things right. Like for instance, if I wanted to delete the red on this gibble down here, I can click, and it'll select it for me, which is very handy Usually you have to zoom in and get in on the finer details, but there we go. The red is gone. Now we're just going to bring that back, because I don't want to destroy my sidebar image. But anyway, that's what the wand tool does. Now we also have the quick selection tool, which is in the same thing. If you didn't see what I did, I just kind of clicked that little arrow right there. We kind of have to click and drag, but yeah. There you go. Or you can press Shift W to switch between them quickly. There's a lot of little keyboard shortcuts. But yeah, this is what the quick selection tool does. It basically selects everything you mouse over while holding your mouse button down. So yeah, see? Everything but those few sections were selected. So, that's what and again, you have to be careful with this one because usually it does not know what it's doing. So you either have to be very careful or be ready to erase a lot. Now, crop tool is easy. Everyone uses the crop tool. It just crops things. And we're probably going to keep this document smaller. Just so, for ease, so that we can see what we're doing. So anyway, there he is. There's my little baby boy. I love him. Anyway, frame tool? I'm not actually sure what this one does. But we're going to find out right about now. Okay, yep, still don't know what it does. I didn't really learn about that one, so we're moving on from it. The eyedropper tool is easy. Picks up colors. So then you can use the brush tool to paint with them. Heal tool. If you have imperfections in your pictures or you just want to get rid of things, like say I wanted to get rid of my boy's nose here, I would just make the brush smaller and go over his nose, and voila, he doesn't have a nose anymore. If I didn't want this here, this little anger tornado here, that's not what it's supposed to do. Again, this one usually doesn't know what it's doing either. Well, most of the it knows what it's doing more than the other one does. But yeah, most of the time it's going to be on content aware, so that it knows what's around it is what you want, where it is, where the thing you're trying to get rid of is. So this boy is not going to have a face anymore. And voila, he does not, thanks to the powers of the content aware quick heal tool. The spot healing brush. Now the patch tool is when you can take, like, say, his face over here and replace it with Brett's. Voila. So anyway, there we go. That's the patch tool. The others I didn't really learn about, besides the healing brush tool, where you have to alt-click, and then you can, like, click and put it wherever. Put that thing wherever. That target position. Like say I wanted to take, well, here. Say I wanted to take part of Zeus's ear over here. Zeus the Shinx. And I wanted to just, like, put it on Volt's face. Volt the Rotom's face. Voila, I did it. You can do that. Brush tool, easy. You can paint things. Pencil tool, you can paint things. Color replacement tool. You can replace the colors of things. Mixer brush tool. You can mix the colors. Use it essentially the smudge tool. But it has a fancier name. And it has color. Eraser tool. Easy. Erase things. Background eraser tool. This isn't the background, so. Magic eraser tool. It erases in outlines, I'm guessing. It doesn't get rid of your outlines. Unless you wanted to. But yeah. There's that. All of Photoshop's tools are relatively easy to figure out. Pocket tool, easy, fills things. Smudge tool, smudges things. The gradient tool is a gradient. I mean, the 3D material drop tool I haven't focused on yet because I haven't had to deal with 3D materials, but yeah, dodge tool makes things lighter. Burn tool makes things darker, essentially shading for nerds. But yeah, you can shade things, make them look all nice and pretty. That actually looks pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. What the heck? Yeah, there we go. Anyway. Okay. Moving on. Pen tool. Does that. Didn't really have to deal with the pen tool before, so don't really know what it does. Text tool. Easy. Writes text. This is text. You can change the font. Control A selects all of it. But yeah, I can. Yeah, it's a whole heck of a lot of fonts. Can change it from like the different like formattings, like bold. And it also has like crisp, smooth, strong, sharp. You can also align it. And then you click the check mark to be done. And there you go, you have a whole separate text layer. And then you have the cursor tool, which kind of just, I don't really know, or the path selection tool. Not really sure what that one does, because we never really focused on it. The shape tools. Yeah, you can have shapes. There you go, you got shapes. Rectangle tool, makes rectangles. And then I'm guessing you can do it, guess what these other ones do. You can make rounded rectangles, ellipses, polygons, lines, or custom shapes. You can also drag this around with the hand tool, which can also be easily accessed if you go into like any other tool by pressing the spacebar. And it's spring-loaded, so once you press the spacebar and release, it'll go back to what you were doing before. It should. Right. Yes. Wait, let's go into the regular brush tool. So, yep, then we can just go straight back to drawing. Oop, I forgot to do it myself. So anyway, zoom tool, easy, you can zoom in on things. If you right click with it, you can fit on screen, you can go to 200%, you can go to 100%. If you hit Alt, you can zoom out. And if you click, wherever you click, it'll zoom in, or zoom out. There we go. So, and then down here, well, yeah, I don't know what that is. If you click there, on that little 2 square in the corner right there, the little tiny one, it'll switch back to the default black and white for the color scheme. And if you go over here, anyway, sorry about that, so colors. Okay, my webcam's going off screen now. Anyway, so, colors. Okay, webcam's back on screen now. Okay, so colors. I've said that too many times now. So, this down here shows what colors you have. You can have a primary color and you can have a secondary color. So, if the secondary color is the one you're not painting with, but you can easily switch that by pressing X, and it'll become your primary color, which is the one you're painting with. And you can easily switch between these two by pressing X. This just shows that it thinks you're too saturated. That color you're using is too saturated, so it'll be like less saturated, so you're not using FFF000 in all your drawings that involve red things. But yeah, that's that. And there's the color thing, the color swatch, the color block thing, whatever it is, gradient, with all the colors. And you can easily switch to what you want it to be. You can have it be a brightness cube, you can have it be a color wheel, you can have it be a grayscale slider, a RGB slider, CMYK slider, which is the one most often used to print with, a lab slider, don't know what that is, or a web color slider, which is RGB, but better, I'm guessing. You can copy the color code as HTML, which I've talked about before in my Notepad++ and my Dreamweaver videos. And you can also copy the color text code, which is another whole big thing. We're going to use the RGB spectrum because that's what we're using. Ooh. Didn't know what that did, but we're not going to do that anymore. But yeah, this one's called the Hue Cube, apparently. But yeah, and this down here is your layers panel. We'll talk about all these panels in a different video. But yeah, that's pretty much the basics of the tools of Photoshop. We're going to delete that layer. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this first episode of Photoshop. And for listening to me ramble about the amazing tools. I hope you guys are excited to learn more about Photoshop so that I can refresh my memory before school starts in about 2 weeks. So, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all on Wednesday. Bye!